Sure.
how did you pan into leaving your corporate world and going for a music album, and how it's gone so far?
Right. Wonderful, Avtarit. Thanks for those nice words initially. So it's been a fantastic journey, man. If I look at it, I just wonder, there is some other greater force that is planning this. It's absolutely not what I had planned for, at least. So I joined the corporate world right after my engineering, and while in engineering and while in the corporate, I was always with music. We were, forming bands and performing live and stuff like that. And the music that we used to play was classic rock, heavy metal, that kind of stuff, right? And a little bit of fusion here and there whenever we got the right people. So my corporate life was, multi-dimensional, fascinating. I mean, I was with the same company for 18 years.
Oh,
Something that's not
okay.
kind of traditionally advised even today. So I
Right.
was quite happy with the kind of work that we were doing there, and international travels and stuff like that. So it was good exposure, and that led me to the middle management layer and stuff like that. But I always had this within me to become a musician full time, right? So when I joined Infi when I was around 21, I told myself that okay, let me give till 40 and then quit and then move into music full time. That was the target.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
always, it's like a whimsical kid telling himself that you've got 19 years, you do what you want, right? So when I turned 40, I thought I will quit and get into music full time. I have launched 2 albums. I go by the moniker of World Wide Web. Void or Akasha, the fifth element, the first element, so to speak, the subtlest element of Panchabhuta is something that's fascinated me for a long, long time, right? So my idea was, okay, let me, do this after 40. But, life had other plans, like John Lennon famously said, right? And I had this heritage bug out of nowhere. I wanted to create music concerts for my album against heritage sites as backdrops, something that Yanni had done around 20-25 years back as a musician, right? But when I reached out to the event management teams in Mumbai and various other cities, they said this is way too ambitious. You may want to kind of scale down your dream in the beginning. So I am somebody who doesn't scale down. I just know one way up, and I was digging into virtual reality and augmented reality back then, while in the corporate world working with the technology stuff. So there was a fleeting moment where I thought that okay, how about doing concerts in virtual reality itself? There's no need to travel, and you can gather the entire world for your stage, right? So
Right.
that's how this idea was seeded. And when I met up with the extended team of mine, in so far as the music is concerned, certain people who've been listening to my music for years, and certain, I mean, my sound engineer himself, who's part of the team now at WhoVR, we all met up and we discussed this, and I told them, look, this is what I want to be doing. What do you think? And they all lapped up the idea, pretty much like how you spoke about initially, right? You're doing something of value, you're leaving a
Right.
legacy
Right.
behind, that kind of a thought process.
Yes.
And in one of those discussions, I was telling them, how do we tell people about our history and our legacy when we don't know who we are, right? So that statement got us the title of the company itself, Who We Are, right?
Wow.
So the journey, which started with corporate, planned into music, kind of resulted in virtual reality and a startup that I'm running now. It's about 2 years old, and we are completely focused on heritage, arts, and culture. We want to bring India on the world stage. We want to get the latest and the greatest of technologies in India for our people, to consume their own history, and to let them realize what their ancestors have left behind and where we are in terms of a civilization.